Welcome to Seven Rivers Supernatural Horror. This is the first chapter of Book 1, Seven Rivers, The Darkness, written by B. Luciano Barsulla. Chapter 1, Honesty. The small California town of Verde Hills rested quietly under the expansive night sky, its scattered houses and farmlands stretching outward, their darkness occasionally pierced by silver moonlight. The wind moved softly through the fields, while crickets called to one another in the distance. Among the modest homes, one building attracted attention, not for its design, but for its state of neglect. Peeling paint clung to its wooden exterior, while untrimmed weeds choked the walkway to the front door. Inside, a tense scene was unfolding. Cora Acheron, a 31-year-old woman, stood in the dimly lit room, gripping a baseball bat so tightly her knuckles turned white. Her appearance told a story of recent violence. Her hair stuck out in multiple directions. Dirt marked her face, showing signs of conflict, and her clothes carried stains of dried, darkened blood. Her eyes opened wide and vigilant, and moved quickly around the room, examining everything. Across from her, Gabe Matthews, a solidly built man at least a decade her senior, stood with a calm but cautious demeanor. His hands remained elevated in a surrendering position, palms facing outward, attempting to reduce the tension that existed between them. The room contained no sound except their labored breathing and the faint, distant sounds of night beyond the walls. Cora swung the bat weakly. "Get away from me. Back off," she said. Gabe didn't flinch. His hands remained raised. "I knew you'd come home. I knew you'd be back here," he said. "I'm leaving, Gabe." "For good," Cora replied. The bat trembled in her grip. "I can't let that happen," Gabe said, taking a step forward. Cora retreated, maintaining the distance between them as they circled the living room. "I'm getting out of here, and you'll never have to see me again," Cora insisted. Gabe's voice hardened. "You know I can't let that happen, Cora. It's not your choice. Put down the bat, and let's talk about this." Cora swung the bat more forcefully this time. Her grip was steadier now. "Back away," she warned as she glanced towards the window. Gabe noticed her wandering gaze. "Are you looking for someone? Your friends aren't coming, Cora. Nobody is coming. You're all alone." He paused, letting his words sink in. "Understand?" Cora stood her ground, pointing the bat at Gabe. "Maybe it's your turn. You gonna hit me with the bat?" Gabe challenged. "Yeah, let you feel what it's like. You're only making things worse." Cora's voice cracked with emotion. "I'm not sure how much worse they can be, because this feels about as bad as it gets." She swung the bat violently, knocking over a lamp, a picture frame, and various knickknacks. The crash echoed through the room. "Just stop," Gabe pleaded. Cora swung again, the bat connecting with the wall, missing Gabe by inches. "I guess that's strike 2, she said. As she prepared for another swing, Gabe reached under his coat and pulled out a revolver. "And that's strike 3, he said. Cora stood ready with the bat still raised. "You might as well pull that trigger." "I'd rather not. Let's talk this through." A moment of tense silence passed as Cora considered her options. "Fine," she said at last. In a sudden burst of movement, Cora spun the bat, letting it clatter to the floor. As Gabe's eyes followed the bat's descent, she lunged for a nearby vase. Before he could react, she smashed it against his arm. The gun fell from his grasp. Cora quickly retrieved the bat and struck Gabe. "You like picking on girls?" she asked. Gabe grunted in pain as she hit him again. Stunned, he stumbled backward. Seizing her chance, Cora snatched up the fallen gun. Gabe, realizing the situation had changed completely, began backing towards the bathroom. "You still want to talk this through?" Cora asked. Her voice dripped with sarcasm. Gabe retreated into the bathroom, slamming and locking the door behind him. "Better or worse?" Cora called out. Gabe's muffled voice came through the door. "So much worse. I will hunt you down and find you." "Maybe. Maybe not. I will." Cora raised the gun, aiming at the door. "Good luck, you son of a bitch." The sound of gunshots roared as Cora emptied the revolver into the bathroom door. A groan and a thump followed the last shot. Lowering the now empty gun, Cora cautiously approached the door. "You okay?" she called out. "Silent. Did I get you?" With no answer forthcoming, Cora snatched her handbag and seized the baseball bat with a fierce grip. She bolted out of the house, throwing the revolver into the darkness, before jumping into a black Toyota Camry parked awkwardly in the driveway. The engine roared to life and sped off. The tires screeched as she vanished into the night. Inside the house, the unsettling silence broke. The bathroom door, riddled with bullet holes, creaked open. Gabe emerged unsteadily, holding his left arm where a bullet had entered. Blood flowed between his fingers as he reached for his phone. His uninjured hand shook as he pressed the numbers urgently. Cora was here. She shot me, he said into the phone. His voice was strained. He leaned against the wall, leaving a smear of blood as he moved. In the arm. I expect I'll live. Gabe tucked his injured arm into his coat pocket, using it as a makeshift sling. I'm not sure. Sounded like she went toward the river, he said. He continued listening to the voice on the other end. Yes, of course I'm going after her. Maybe I can cut her off. Gabe pushed himself off the wall with a grunt and headed for the door, prepared to follow Cora into the night. Outside, the chilly night air hit him like a slap. Gasping for breath, he scanned the darkness until he noticed something reflecting moonlight in the grass. He moved quickly to retrieve his gun, examining it thoroughly before slipping away into the shadows. Meanwhile, Cora sped down the dimly lit road, her fingers clenched around the steering with white knuckles. She focused intently on the asphalt ahead, her thoughts racing between panic and resolve. Her heart hammered against her ribs as she resisted looking over her shoulder. 5 minutes passed, then 10, then 15. No flashing blue and red lights appeared in her rearview mirror. No wailing sirens pierced the night. The neighbors hadn't called the police, despite the gunshots that had exploded from her house earlier. She wavered between a fragile optimism and crushing anxiety as she considered her escape, imagining what life might be like if she truly got away. Yet beneath this flicker of hope lurked a gnawing fear of everything she had abandoned. Ahead, the massive river appeared as a black void against the night sky, and she eased her foot off the accelerator as she approached the bridge's outline against the darkness. In that moment, her stomach dropped as she spotted him. He was on the other side of the river, across the bridge, and blocking her path. How the hell did he get here? She asked. Her voice was tight with fear. His car waited in the distance, its headlights cutting into the darkness. He remained firmly in the middle of the road, though uncertainty showed in his posture. His gun dangled loosely from his fingers and his wounded arm tucked inside his coat, as if caught between protecting himself and preparing for whatever approached. Stop the damned car, Cora, Gabe said quietly into the night as she sped toward him. Cora pushed the accelerator harder, racing toward him without slowing. One way or another, this ends tonight, Gabe said. He raised his gun and fired a loud warning shot skyward. The car continued approaching. Gabe positioned himself and aimed. Inside the vehicle, Cora leaned forward, focusing on Gabe. She pressed harder on the gas pedal, making the engine roar louder. This is the way it has to be, she said through clenched teeth. If this is the only way I can get away from you, then this is it. Neither showed signs of yielding. Suddenly, Gabe's gun flashed brightly in the dim light as he squeezed the trigger. Cora's sleek black sedan sped toward him relentlessly, its engine roaring loudly. He pulled the trigger repeatedly, each shot breaking through the night air. One bullet found its mark, striking and shattering the windshield into a network of broken glass. Inside, Cora flinched at the impact, her heart racing. But instead of slowing, she pressed the gas pedal to the floor. 2 more bullets tore into the hood of the car, puncturing the engine with a harsh sound. The sedan swerved wildly, smoke pouring from under the damaged hood. Gabe aimed carefully and fired another shot. This bullet struck the driver's side door and pierced Cora's left thigh. She screamed in pain, her hands jerking the steering wheel involuntarily. The car slid off the road, the tires screeching, before crashing into the steel guardrail. The impact was violent, halting the vehicle abruptly with its front end hanging precariously over the side of the bridge. Smoke poured from the engine, the stench of burning oil filling the air. Flames licked at the hood, quickly moving into the cabin of the sedan. The driver's side door opened and Cora stumbled out, her clothes and hair burning, smoke curling around her head. Her injured body moved awkwardly as she staggered backward into the burning car. The vehicle shifted. It tipped forward, the front wheels lifting off the ground, and then it fell. Cora, covered in flames, fell with it into the night, vanishing into the darkness toward the river below. Tumbling forward like a limp doll, Cora slid into the murky water. She lay motionless as the current caught her body and slowly carried her into the darkness. Gabe walked unsteadily to the bridge's edge, looking down with shock and disbelief. Blood flowed from his wounded arm as he fell to his knees, breathing laboriously. He leaned against the bridge railing, closed his eyes, and inhaled deeply. His momentary relief vanished when a police car suddenly arrived. 2 officers jumped out with guns drawn, looking around cautiously. "What happened here? Are you hurt?" one officer asked. "He has a gun," the other officer said. He watched Gabe closely. "Put the gun down. Put it down," the first officer commanded. Gabe started laughing strangely, letting the weapon fall from his hand. "Hands in the air," the second officer ordered. Still laughing, Gabe raised his uninjured arm, looking defiant. "Put him in the air," the officer insisted forcefully. "I've been shot? Can't move my arm," Gabe replied. His pain was evident in his voice as he spoke. "Put it in the air," the first officer repeated. "I can't," Gabe said angrily. The officers remained alert, one keeping his weapon pointed at Gabe while the other peered over the bridge. "Was that your car?" the first officer demanded. "No, not my car," Gabe answered. "Whose car was it and where's the driver?" the officer asked. "I'm pretty sure she's dead," Gabe said flatly. As the confrontation continued on the bridge, underwater, Cora's body drifted. Her eyes opened suddenly in panic, reality hitting her forcefully. She breathed in instinctively, water filling her lungs coldly. She kicked and struggled desperately before giving up again, her eyes closing in surrender. Seconds later, someone grabbed Cora by the collar, pulling her back to consciousness. Her eyes fluttered open briefly, hardly registering what was happening before she blacked out again. At the surface, a man held Cora in a life-saving grip, straining as he swam toward shore. With tremendous effort, he dragged her limp body onto the muddy riverbank. Seeing she wasn't breathing, he immediately began CPR, pushing repeatedly on her chest in a desperate rhythm. The man wore dirty blue coveralls, typical of a janitor or maintenance worker, his face weathered and rough from years of demanding work. He continued chest compressions until finally, Cora's eyes snapped open. She coughed violently, expelling water from her lungs. The man carefully carried Cora to his nearby car. As he placed her in the back seat, her voice broke through the silence, weak but urgent. "No hospital, no police. He'll kill me if he finds me." The rescuer shut the door gently, then slid into the driver's seat before pulling onto the road. In the back seat, Cora faded in and out of consciousness. "Help me, please. Can you help me?" she asked quietly. "You're hurt bad, Missy," the man said. He sounded worried. "No hospital. I'm dead if he finds me," Cora insisted. The man glanced back at her, looking increasingly concerned. "Will you help me?" she asked. "I can try," he answered. Cora closed her eyes again as she lost consciousness. The man focused on the road, driving into the complete darkness with his mysterious passenger. This is the conclusion of Chapter 1 of 7 Rivers, The Darkness, Book 1 of the 7 Rivers Tales of Supernatural Horror. To continue reading, you can find the book on Amazon in various formats and other places where books are sold. You may also discover more at www.7rivershorror.com. Thank you for listening. We will see you at 7 Rivers, sooner than you might expect.